Wes, how have you found your time up here in Scotland? Is it quite a change from what you were used to?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the weather's a lot different. It's been brilliant. Fans have been welcoming. All the boys have been welcoming as well. So I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Has that competition for places changed quite a lot just recently?
Yeah, obviously Magic's come in and Cammy's come back to full fitness. Liam's gone out on loan as well, which is good for him. But there's competition for places now, and it's up to me to work hard, train hard, and keep my shot.
Your manager talked earlier on in the season about the way that you performed, and that could possibly lead to an England call. Do you think, are you in the right place to be able to make an impression on Roy Hodgson?
To be honest, I'm keen to sort of stay away from that question. I don't want to put any unnecessary pressure on myself, so I'll just work hard and do what I can, and hopefully we'll see how far that takes me.
You've been kept quite quiet in the last couple of games. How difficult is that when you're not being called upon? You're just basically watching on.
Yeah, it's difficult because there might be times in games where you only have one or two things to do, and if you don't do it well, then you'll be judged on just those one or two things. So it's important that you keep your concentration and try and stay switched on and be there for the team when they need you in maybe that one or two instances.
How easy is it to keep your concentration when you're out there, the snow's falling, everything's happening at the other end?
To be honest, it's one of those things you can have different sort of techniques to get you through it, and I try and talk myself through the games, and when the ball's further up the pitch I try and sort of speak to myself and stay in contact with the game, and it's one of those things that's really important for a goalkeeper because like you say, you might not have anything to do for 85, 90 minutes and then have to do that one thing in the last minute, so you need to be switched on and ready when called upon.
Do you see a lot of things that maybe some of the other players don't see then because you are getting to just watch the game?
Yeah, I think the bulk of the game is obviously the ball at my feet and sort of talking to the back four and guiding them to be in the right positions because, like you say, I can see the whole pitch, and if boys need to tuck round or get tight or push up the pitch, then it's my job as well to stay in sort of communication with them and tell them the positions they need to be in.
What's it been like training with Magic? He seems quite a lively character. Is that kind of just giving you an extra edge?
Yeah, he's been brilliant, to be honest. Like you say, he's a lively character, and he gets right amongst the banter and stuff. And the goalkeeper practices are a lot easier when you have a higher number of goalkeepers as well. So at the minute there's 4 of us training, and it's really good.
I mean, he's obviously come here to play as well. Do you feel that you've really got to step up now, even that you've been doing well, that you still have to step up a gear just to keep that play, your jersey?
Well, I mean, regardless of who comes in, I'm always going to work as hard as I can and train as hard as I can, and try and put in the best performances possible. And now Magic's come in, he's obviously added strength to the goalkeeping department. But like I said before, it's down to me to stay switched on and keep my performances as good as possible.
When you first came up here, did you expect there to be such a tight challenge at the top of the table?
I didn't know what to expect, to be honest. I obviously knew that we'd have a strong side, and we'll obviously be competing and expected to win the league. But Hibs have done very well, Falkirk have done very well as well. So all we can do is concentrate on ourselves and try and win as many games as possible, and hopefully can get another win on Monday as well.
Falkirk have come in the surprise package for some this season. Is that a case of now writing them off at your peril?
Well, I think it's a case of us just trying to concentrate on what we have to do, and the rest will take care of itself.
Do you take notice of the fact that Hibs sign a Celtic player on loan? It's quite a statement of intent from them, isn't it?
I'm not going to comment on any signings that other teams make. Obviously, it's the transfer window, so teams are going to make signings and try and strengthen their sides in what ways they can. And I'm sure we've made some good signings as well. The boys are going to join us obviously at the end of the season, so we're going to strengthen our team, and that will help us for the push.
How close do you think Rangers are to the teams at the top of the Premiership?
To be honest, I've not played against any, so I can't make that judgment. We have a game coming up against Kilmarnock, which will be a good test for us, and we can see where we're at when we play against them. So the first port of call is to win the Championship and get into the Premier League, and then from there take it from there. If
you were to say draw Celtic in a cup, is that something you would be confident about, and is it something that you'd really look forward to?
Well, I'm sure everyone will look forward to that game. Fans, players, the club in general will look forward to that game if it comes. But we have a tough game against Kilmarnock, and we can only look towards that game first.
Were you surprised to see Nathan go back down to Tottenham?
Well, Nathan's a fantastic player. I mean, when he first came into the side, he was brilliant. You know, fans loved him, and he loved being here as a massive character in the dressing room. And he found himself out of the squad in the last few games. And obviously, at his age, it's difficult. He needs to be playing football. So, he's gone back to Spurs, and hopefully he'll go on to have a good career.
Do you think Rangers is a good place though still for young players who are making their way through the ranks at some of the top clubs in England? Rangers is still a place to come to?
Definitely, I mean, because boys can go out on loan and play in League One, but they're not going to play in anything like sort of playing at Ibrox. The amount of fans that they get here and the pressure that boys are under here is sort of similar to the clubs that they'll be at, sort of Tottenham, your Chelsea's, your Arsenal. So it's a great place for them to come and learn, and a great place to play football as well. Monday
night, are you hoping for a cold and lonely evening, or do you think it'll be a tight game?
Well, I'm hoping for a lonely evening, yeah. But I'm sure it'll be a difficult game. They came to Ibrox and gave us a difficult game, and obviously took points off us. So we need to be ready for the challenge and hopefully get another 3 points.